Welcome back to our calculator series. So today we are going to learn how we can use the calculator to compute the payback period. The BA2 Plus calculator cannot compute the payback period, but the BA2 Plus Professional can compute the payback period. Let us look at this example together. So we have a company, and this company is considering an investment in a project, and it requires an initial outlay of $50,000. The project is expected to generate cash flow of $15,000 every year for the next 5 years. So the question says that we should compute the payback period for this project. So the first thing we need to do is to turn on our BA2 Plus Professional Calculator. Once we turn it on, we press CF. So this is the cash flow. So the first thing we need to do is to clear that memory, just in case we have something previously there. So we'll press second function, we'll press CEC. Once we have cleared the memory, we can now go ahead and start inputting our numbers. So CFO is the initial outlay. So we are going to type 50,000. But since this is an outflow, we need to put a negative to it. So we'll press this negative here, plus or minus. Then we'll press enter. Once we do that, the calculator will show us CFO equal to minus 50,000. Then we'll press down. So this is down in the calculator. Once we press down, we can put the next cash flow. So we have the next cash flow to be 15,000. So we'll put 15,000. We'll press enter. We'll press arrow down again. We see FO1. Now, since this cash flow is going to be a recurring cash flow for the next 5 years, we'll put FO1 to be 5. So we'll press 5, we'll press enter. Once we have done that, we'll go to the calculator and press MPV. So if we press MPV, we'll press arrow down, we'll press arrow down, we'll press arrow down. So we'll see PB. Once we see PB, the next thing we'll press is compute. So this is computing the calculator. And the calculator will show us that PB is 3.33 years. So B is the answer for this question. All right, let us look at another example. So they said you are evaluating a project, and this project has an initial investment of $100,000. And we have expected cash flows of $30,000 in year 1, $50,000 in year 2, $60,000 in year 3, and $20,000 in year 4. So we are asked to compute the payback period for this project. So we are going to follow the step we followed the last time. So we'll press CF. And remember, you need to clear the memory. So we'll press second function. We'll press CEC. So once we do that, the memory of our calculator is cleared. So we can now go ahead and start inputting our numbers. So we'll type 100,000. Now, but since this 100,000 is an outflow, we still have to put a negative. So we are pressing this plus or minus here. So once we do that, it places a negative in front of the 100,000. Then we'll press enter. So once we do that, the calculator will show us CFO equal to minus 100,000. Now we'll press arrow down. We see CO1. So we'll put the cash flow at year 1. So the cash flow at year 1 we have is 30,000. So we're putting 30,000. And we are pressing enter. Once we do that, the calculator will display for us CO1 equal to 30,000. We'll press arrow down. We see FO1. We'll press arrow down again. Then we'll see CO2. Once we see that CO2, we'll put the second year cash flow. So the second year cash flow here is 50,000. So we'll type 50,000. We'll press enter. We'll press arrow down. We'll press arrow down again. We'll see CO3. So we'll put the third year cash flow, which is 60,000. We'll press enter. We'll press arrow down. We'll press arrow down again. We'll see CO4. So we'll put the year 4 cash flow, which is 20,000. We'll type enter. So we have finished inputting the cash flows. So the next thing we do now is to press our MPV. So once we press MPV, we'll press arrow down. We'll press arrow down. We'll press arrow down. So we see PB. Once we see PB, the next thing we do is to compute. So this is the compute button in the calculator. Now, once you compute, the calculator will give us a payback period of 2.33 years. I would now like us to pause this video and attempt the payback period calculation using the PA2 Plus Professional. If you did it correctly, the right answer for this question is A. And if you didn't get A, I would like you to check out our workings and see why you didn't get A.